Hey, it's Saturday, May 22nd, and you're watching The Great Lost Rewatch. Today we are talking about the penultimate episode of Lost, What They Died For. So I think the flash sideways is really, really interesting. What we've got going on is everybody is converging in one place. And I think it's this concert that... Is it the same thing that Daniel was preparing for with Charlie to play at in the episode Happily Ever After? I believe it is, because then that would put Daniel Faraday, Charlie, Penny, and if Jack's son David is playing at the same concert, Jack, David's mother, which I think is Juliet, and I'll tell you why in a second, Kate, Desmond, Sawyer, Miles, Charlotte, Dr. Chang, the list goes on, the number of people that are going to be converging at this. I think that Desmond is taking Kate to the concert to have her emotional moment, her moment where she'll see the island with Jack, and that I think that Juliet is David's mother because Juliet will be there that would put Juliet at the concert and Sawyer at the concert, and they would see each other and have their moment, and then maybe go Dutch for some coffee. I think Hurley is taking Saeed to Shannon to have their moment. I wonder if maybe Michael and Walt will be in this. I don't know. I don't know who all is supposed to be in this episode, but that's my thoughts. I don't know what happens when they all have their moments. Do the timelines, converge? I know I really want these timelines to converge, and everybody's probably but that's my thought. On the island, Ben is seemingly a bad guy. I think he's playing the smoke monster, and I think that his playing the smoke monster will get him killed, but it will also get Jack to be able to kill the smoke monster. That's my prediction. I feel like this episode is me predicting what I think is going to happen in the finale. I loved all the callbacks in this episode to older episodes. Jack stitching up Kate like she did to him in the pilot. Danielle saying something to Ben about having to kidnap him. Ben's arm being in a sling. There were some very literal biblical references in this episode that I liked, with Jacob using the water to kind of anoint Jack, kind of like a baptism, or as it was used, they previously used wine to do that. He's kind of turning the water into the wine. If you listen to Jorge Garcia's podcast, they talk a little bit about scenes that got cut from this episode. Apparently there is a scene where Locke asks Claire to kill the people that he ends up asking Ben to kill, but she says no. So that's interesting for Kate's character. I don't know if they're going to make that canon or not, or, if we should consider it canon because it's not in the episode, actually. And then the other one that I thought was interesting because I noticed, I kind of went, when Jack pulled the cup out of his bag and was like, I actually do have a cup. It's I feel like we're missing something here. Where there's a scene that got cut that, in which Jack picks up a bag from the ocean that came up from the submarine that had the cup in it, and he takes the cup. I wonder why Ana Lucia is not ready for remembering the other timeline. I thought at first maybe it's because she's dead on the island, but Charlie remembers, and Charlie's dead on the island. This doesn't really have to do with this episode, but on the Jorge Garcia podcast, Geronimo Jack's Beard, they were talking about the experiences that you need to have flashes of the other timeline. Hurley obviously remembers a lot now of the other timeline, but they were talking about Ben's dad, that maybe he had a near-death experience because he's obviously on oxygen and unable to care for himself. So they're wondering if his bringing up the island was actually because he had a flash, and Ben's kind of thinking that he's senile now, and he's like, Dad. So I need to go back and watch that episode and see Ben's actual reaction to his father talking about the island. I guess that's all I have to say about this episode. I'm so excited and sad for the finale tomorrow night. I am going over to my friend's house who I normally watch Lost with. We're having a barbecue. So that's what I'm doing. I will see you guys on the other side. It's almost over, guys. Bye.
We're gonna need to watch that again.
I don't know if Boone will fit into this at all. Might. He was in the pilot, or in the pilot. He was in the pilot. He was in the season opener, so maybe he'll be in this again.